The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. I just realized that this thing that I hung on the wall fell at some point, so there's just like a blank spot on the wall. There's a blank space, baby, and it's behind my head.
Can you see me with the background?
I mean, it really is blending in. You are like wearing the green screen of shirts because the wall you're against is yellow, and then your shirt is the exact same color. New shirt?
No, just
just never bold enough to wear it on air.
Yeah,
he's wearing heavy colors. It's scary. Yeah, it's scary to wear colors for boys.
Yeah, depending on the color, but I really don't give a shit anymore. It doesn't. It's just. I don't know. I like the mustard.
Oh God, this mic thing that I just put on smells like
mustard,
poop.
Like literal
poop.
I can't. I don't know.
Was it wet? No.
I mean,
really? And it looked dirty. It's from Amazon, so it's not like I can really do anything about it.
That's
it's probably
bad,
poop from people that it's bad, right?
Dude, that I'm not.
It's like on my hands. It's poop. So I got these new mic covers I got pink mic covers. Look at Andrew's online. It's bright and beautiful. And then the one that I took it off because it smelled like poop, but it was not as bright. Why does
that smell like that? Like someone wiped their ass with
I know. I was just watching. We were just watching Nathan For You the other day because I was telling.
The movie or the new show?
Not the new one. I was watching Nathan For You, like his first show on Comedy Central, which I think is one of the funniest things ever. You watched that, right?
Love it. And I'm literally just started watching his new thing.
I haven't watched. It's The Rehearsal.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet, but
we should watch it together.
The first episode is the one where he's trying to make the yogurt shop. He's trying to go in and improve their business. So if you haven't seen the show, Nathan For You is like, it's kind of like The Prophet, if you know that show on MSNBC, which is one of my favorite shows ever. Marcus Lemonis on that show goes into companies and he invests in them and gets equity in the company, and then he totally revamps it, and he's about the 3 Ps: people, product, and process. And we would always add a fourth and say pussy, but he wouldn't appreciate that because he's a good man. Man, I love Marcus Lemonis.
Wait, a good man can't like pussy?
He loves
it
you.
just wouldn't be part of his,
I see him liking a lot of your posts and stuff.
Well, I was such a fan of his, and then for some reason he found out I was a fan of his, and then he became a fan of mine. He almost came to see us at one of our shows on the road. I think in Florida, he has a home there. He started Camping Worlds. That's who he is. If you've never seen The Prophet on MSNBC,
yeah, I love that show.
It is such a touching show, and why I love Marcus Lemonis is that he cares about people. He'll go in and just completely it'll be like a father-son business, and there'll be just they've not talked in years and they've never hugged, and and he just gets in there and he has them connect. He just is really emotionally he's emotionally focused, but also completely business minded and always doing the right thing and never budging on no, I want 51% of the, and they're like, I will not give you 51% of my pie business. And he's just like, well, then your pie business is going to fail because I'm going to save it. And he does good for the people, but he also wants to make a profit because his name is The Prophet, which is a great name for a show because it's like a profit as in PROPH.
Double it up.
Yeah. Mannerisms. And so hamdripisms. And
one episode.
So he but on one episode, I love it so much. He goes into this I don't know if it was it's like a kayaking company or something. They make kayaks or water sport boards or something like that. And the guys were the kiss ever. One of them's a radio DJ who talks like this. It is one of those morning zoo guys, but he's misogynist, morning zoo.
I feel like if a kayak could talk, it would sound.
Yes, a sea-doo. If a sea-doo was sentient, it would be this idiot. And
back off, sea-doos,
sorry,
dude. Come on.
Well, yeah, that was the old.
Don't. Come on, please. Left turn.
So, left turn on a sea-doo into a manatee.
Barrel roll. Stuck in a mangrove.
Get arrested.
Call 411. On a
date with a stripper. Ham drips all over. Ham soak.
So
he's sitting there with this. And by the way, the production that goes into these places, He has a whole production team, so they fly to this place and they do a whole backstory
Wait, are we
about
doing
the people.
The Prophet or
yeah,
Nathan?
Nathan for You is coming next.
Oh, okay.
So
Because I was
Prophet,
worried that we were.
They fly into this air
I've watched that show a lot, actually.
Yeah, so so much goes into even before they start. He walks in the doors. Like I discovered this place. Who wrote to me? He kind of talks like this, and they're looking for
$400,000 for 38% of it.
Yes.
It feels like Shark Tank with heart.
Exactly.
You know.
Yes. So like dolphin tank.
Yeah, dolphin.
Are dolphins have heart? Seal.
Yeah, dolphins
Otter.
fuck, dude.
Well, I don't know if they have heart. They're just
Dolphins?
horny. I don't know if they have like heart though.
They like to do that.
But
You ever hear that joke? How do you fuck dolphin sex? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's like
you try to put it in their
non-consent.
butt or something.
Yeah, I
So
don't know where
deep.
that's from.
It's from my special.
Needs
Coming
friend.
out to you on Vimeo.
So he goes to this one place, and they've put. I just know they put so much money into already getting there and everything, and it's a whole episode. I mean, it's an hour long that they devote to like one company, and sometimes they split it to different companies per episode depending on how much footage they get. But he gets in, and he's sitting across from this guy, and this guy's like they're just meeting for the first time, and he says something about women. Like he's like, yeah, they're just, He was like, I listen to your radio show, and I think it's a little misogynist. And he's like, well, yeah, because women are holes. Or he says something gross about women, and Marcus just
Blowholes,
goes,
I think he said.
well, we're done here. We're done. There's no negotiating. There was no like, let's make this work.
Nice.
Done. Like the second he heard this guy was a misogynist and just said something gross, he was freaking done. And the other night, my dad did the same thing. My dad told me yesterday that he went to, he was like hanging out with, after tennis with like people that he plays tennis with. And of course, my dad brought up the January 6th hearings and he was like, I'm looking forward to watching those. And he was just trying. I know he doesn't agree politically with everyone in his group, and he knows that too.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, Dad, why would you bring that up? But because
it
he
was
is looking forward to
game
it.
point, maybe. Get in their heads.
Love.
Yeah.
30. I don't know. I don't know anything about tennis.
You know
I just the word
everything.
love is there.
Come on.
Love
Don't
is
sell
0.
yourself short.
I know that they do that when they hit things. Seems
You think
like
some
too
of them
much.
are hot? You saw.
CC Pass.
Is that the one that's
I just
hot?
love that T in his name.
Yeah, he's fun.
And so my dad said, I'm excited about these January 6 hearings. And, of course, one of the guys was like, that's a bunch of bullshit. It's it's a clown show and blah, blah, blah. And he said something about like, my dad told me yesterday, the guy was like, Nancy Pelosi is a fucking vampire, just old bitch woman. And he was like, if I would have been there, I would take a shit on her desk. And my dad said something about, well, what do you think about the insurrectionists smearing feces everywhere? Is that something you support? And they were like, well, if I was there, I would have taken a shit on Pelosi's desk. And my dad just got in his face and goes, well, then fuck you, and left and almost got in a fight.
Damn.
It was like scary to even see my dad get that mad.
Wait,
like,
you saw it?
No, my dad
reenacted.
reenacted it for me, and I was like, yeah.
So is he investing or no?
So
Did he buy the tennis? Yeah, no, that's fucking. I have friends that I know don't.
yes.
So you're not gonna get what you want back.
That's what when he said.
Ever.
I brought up the January 6th, and I
Yeah,
go, "Oh, did they change their mind, Dad?
yeah.
Are they on your side now? Is that what happened? Do they see things your way? Yeah,
You know what? I'll pick the shit up
He
off the
just
desk.
can't help himself, and but he just was like, then fuck, like he got so mad. And my dad rarely loses his temper, and he
Yeah.
said that he was in his car, just like adrenaline pumping, like he was like,
Like you wanted to like storm
I
something.
get that
That's
sometimes where I just get
stress.
so angry.
Yeah,
you're
for
putting
sure.
stress, like your heart is racing and stuff. That is not
good.
like, healthy.
Not good. I know. Like
not
blood
worth
pressure.
it.
Probably felt
not
alive,
worth
though.
it. Not maybe.
Well, if he
felt
needs me to
alive.
fight, tell EJ you could always fucking text me and I'll call
What would
someone
you
else.
do? What would be your move to fight someone?
Hit him with a
I'll
golf
fucking-
club.
Yeah. Use one of the ones.
Are you foreshadowing, Noah? Maybe.
pulling Elon?
I mean, I could throw hands.
Yeah.
I mean, I could really like knock someone out. It's like I could knock a lot of people out. Probably 70% of people I could beat up pretty easily, especially an old man.
Yeah. What
An
about
old-
Garret? If you would have been Peter Park.
Ooh, good question.
If I threw the first punch, I think I could hold my own with Garret. But he's a big dude.
How
It would
tall
be-
is Garret compared to you?
Garrett's like
what's gonna be the-
6'3",
Probably
6'4". Yeah, he's
And
giant.
he's athletic. He played college
You
football.
were right, Noah, when you said he should do WWE.
Oh my God, he
Wouldn't
does.
it be amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, he already
Amazing.
looks the part of it.
If he put on another, honestly, he'd probably put on another 20 pounds of muscle. And
Yeah, but he could
has the
easily do
face
that.
of a villain.
Oh my God.
God, does he have a
Looks
villain
like
face?
he looks like the Die Hard villain guy. Is that
Holy
right?
shit. Or Drago.
Yeah. Yes,
Any
yes.
blonde-haired dickhead.
Yeah.
But
And
nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
I like Garret.
I know. I mean, he's an F boy, but he is a nice
I
guy
almost
as well.
partied with him when we were in Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm sure I would have had a
I
ball.
mean, he's insane. And there's just something about the F boys, I gotta say, that makes me like them almost more than the nice
they're
guys
honest.
because they're honest.
Yeah.
I just like, there's someone that saying you're a piece of shit is like kind of, there's something, okay, well, thanks for letting me know.
Also, they get rewarded for it. Why would you stop?
That's the thing of the show is
you know what I
someone was
mean,
saying,
though?
why would they ever pick an F boy? And I was like, they were like, if the point of the game is like getting the most, like if you want to get the money, then why would you pick an F boy? I'm like, because they're attractive. Like that's the dilemma here is that we can't stop being attracted to guys that we know are bad for us. It's what is the allure there?
But what is the allure?
Low self-esteem. Women have most people have low self-esteem, and I know Noah's laughing.
I love how you just like went right into it.
100% low self-esteem. You would never want someone who didn't want you or seemed to be like not trusting or not to be trusted or seemed like he was maybe going to have a wandering eye. You would never be attracted to that if you didn't feel like you actually didn't deserve love. And
Is the thought, though, that they could actually fuck better than a nice guy? Like, does that go through your head? Like, oh, he'll fuck me better.
no. Because I mean, maybe.
No, I'm just saying,
For
like,
me,
maybe that's a
no.
physical thing. Maybe it's a...
I don't think women are really that dead. Because I have known so many girls who stay with guys. I mean, we were talking this weekend in the girls group, and there were stories shared of girls being in such longing pain for guys who in retrospect they were like they fucked terribly, and they were looking to secure them. So it's a guy. Girls aren't as motivated, but I'm not saying it's not every woman is the same, but women are not motivated by like he probably fucks good. Like
Yeah.
I think that maybe those go hand in hand of like a guy who fucks more is probably good. So a guy who fucks more is probably the one that's more of an F boy. But no, I don't think it's something
So
women
it's
will
just
put up
pretty
with
much-
terrible sex
yeah.
for a guy that is avoidant if they're a girl that's anxious attached. And this gets back to attachment theory. It's kind of fun to play the game. Like someone was just saying it's fun to watch dating shows and to play what kind of attachment style do these people have. And pretty much every F boy is avoidant and most of the nice guys are anxious. And then there's this other one that's called like fearful anxious. There's all like different kinds, but it was really
I feel like Braden comes off good on this show.
yeah, he oh my god, how painful was that rap from Dwayne after Braden tried to do one?
Yeah, that
I mean,
was-
Braden had a whole thing planned that he didn't need to bring everyone out into this foyer to do it. Like it was
No.
he could have just done it to
I'm
me
surprised he wasn't handing out CDs.
in Times Square.
Yeah.
You like music? Yeah. And then Dwayne gets up to give one, and that was I honestly think it wasn't as painful as they edited it
To make it look
less
worse?
painful.
Oh,
No,
to make
it
it
look less because it just was so uncomfortable to
Yeah,
watch.
it
Anyone
was-
go like, well, I want to do it. Sometimes I just see men become little boys. Like that is a little boy thing to do of like, he's doing that. Well, I'm going to do it. And not being aware that like everyone knows you're desperate right now. But sometimes they just have blinders on of like what they appear to be.
Where are you guys when these parties are happening? Do you
Far
witness
far
this?
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, there is
First
a
season we were there. For
yeah,
a
there
lot
was
of
it was
We'd
closer
watch.
because the boys' house was closer. This time they kept me and everyone was just way farther away. So to get to the boys' house, we had to drive like 15 minutes every day from where we were staying, and
Yeah, we never saw. I'm trying to think if we ever went to one of the late night parties.
because the control room you can go to, there's a control room right off of the
You
actual
feel like
house
You're like an astronaut.
at
like
NASA.
yeah,
at
go
Houston.
camera 4.
Yes.
Camera 4. He's crying.
kinda
Camera
cool to
5. He
watch.
just punched a rock.
And I'm going to do that next season because I feel like I missed so many things that would have helped me interact with them later on. If I could have just been witnessing it and not just heard it from the producers or from the girls themselves. Like, there's
Do you
things like,
remember-
yeah.
Sorry.
No.
There was a TV show about like the behind the scenes of The Bachelor or The
It was called
Bachelorette.
Unreal.
Yes. Oh, that was so good. Maybe you guys
Wait,
could
it was
do
the actual show or was it?
No, it was a
fake?
scripted show
script-
about
yeah,
the
we-
behind the scenes. And I hear that
like
it's
a Larry Sanders kind of thing.
yeah, and I think I watched like 2 episodes, and it was before I worked behind the scenes in reality, but I remember it being very accurate, and hearing from reality show producers that it was very accurate.
I think the hard thing is the Larry Sanders. It's like a behind the scenes of a scripted show, so it seems like a reality show behind it, but a reality show to then do a reality
Larry Sanders
kind
is
of
not a scripted show. Talk shows aren't scripted. I get what you're saying.
more formatted.
Yeah, more formatted. That
I
makes
guess what
sense.
I'm saying is like it counterbalances the format aspect, the
Yes.
behind the scenes.
But
the behind
also
the scenes
the behind
of,
the scenes of a reality show is so much. You learn so much about how
Yes,
the
you
reality
do.
shows aren't at what it looks like, and all the drama that's going behind the scenes of a reality show. Of like, I have to say, everyone that works on a reality show, just like the people that are the subjects of it, are in this like paradise where nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Just as much as the main people on it. Like, our lives are about what's going on with Louise, Tamaris, and Mia.
You don't
Like,
age when you work on those shows. Like in your
Nothing-
mind, like
yeah.
time, it's a camp. It's summer camp for adults.
there's no news going on. There really is nothing else going on except that world, and it's and you can get wrapped up in it, and all you talk about is that world, and so the people that you connect the most with are the ones that also care about this world as much as you do. So it just becomes really incestuous, like just how you really. And when you leave, you're just like, what matters outside of this? Like, I forget what I do normally.
It's like the movie The Beach. Did you ever see that?
I never saw it with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, Leo.
He's-
Do you think he's hot? He's a hot
I
guy.
did when
actually-
Romeo and Juliet was when I was like, something's going on downstairs, and I could not stop thinking about him, and like that's when I knew I wasn't gay.
Was when you saw Leo?
Yeah, because before that, all my friends liked boys before I did, and I was like, what's going on? Like, what's the holdup? What's happening? And it was 8th grade, and I was just like, I cannot stop thinking about this guy. And that scene where he puts the covers over his head, and he they're, oh my God.
He back in the day though, like if you were a lesbian, he would be just
I mean, he
off
looks,
the side of like he looked like a female.
yeah, and
Like
he was a boy still then too,
Yeah,
but
he
I
was
was
still a boy.
I was
Yeah.
8th grade, but there was just something about like and then in Titanic too, was just like that 1-2 punch of Leo was like, I couldn't handle it. I was so into him and became quote unquote boy crazy. Today I went to this voice lesson teacher for the Alexander technique, which is a thing that I'm doing now, and it was out in the suburbs, out where far away from us. And she was talking about there's all these like she was like, oh, there's all these kids in my neighborhood, and they're slowly becoming teenagers, and it's like it's gonna change. They're cute now, but like there's hordes of kids that are all born around the same time. They're gonna become teens soon. She was like, the other day I saw one of the boys flip his hair in that way that that flip that she was like, and I was like, oh yeah, that hair flip. That is like the first moment you as a young girl go, I think I just swooned. I've never heard of, I've heard of swooning before, but I think I just did. Because his hair just like, I remember being obsessed with Kent Adams' ankles in class and just looking at his ankles and being like, I love him.
I mean, the first
8th
girl that
grade.
got tits when you were younger,
Yeah.
it was bananas for guys. Every guy would be like, "Did you hear fucking Tiffany got tits?"
And the gay guys were like pretending to be into it.
yeah, dude, I fucking
Yeah.
so want to touch those.
Well, that's what I kind of pretended for a while with my friends, like for a year, because they were into boys, and I was just like, oh,
It wasn't there yet.
God, fuck.
Well, you didn't hit puberty till late.
Yeah,
maybe that's probably
very
why.
late pubes. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with more after this. Andrew.
Every rose.
All right, we're back. Welcome back to the show. Yeah, we were talking about FBoy Island.
You met Rob Reiner. You
Yeah.
were talking about that.
I put it on my story. I think maybe my story. Yeah, I put it on.
I
Maybe
mean, he's a legend. He looks a lot like my dad too, but
he
he's a
does
legend.
look exactly like your dad. Why is that?
Because they're, I don't know, aging Jews with
He
bald
looked
heads
exactly
and hair.
like your dad.
I know.
That's
We've
so
made the joke
weird.
before, like with my dad.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna look like. Did your dad look like you
Yeah.
at this point in your life?
Yeah, I have a little of my mom in me, but the older I get, the more I'm just turning
I want to see a picture of your dad at your age. You must have been like a baby, you know?
I'll find
You
him.
probably have a picture. Yeah, he was. I met Rob
So wait,
Reiner
why
because
did
I
you meet
did.
him?
They're doing a documentary that Rob Reiner is producing, and so I was asked to be a part of that, and so I I met him. It was funny because it was right after Seth Meyers. It was booked. Like I do Seth Meyers at 3 and then Rob Reiner at 4:15. So it was like right after I finished Seth. I packed up, got in the car, went back to my hotel, and they actually were there shooting at my hotel because I was staying there, which is very nice. So they were on a different room. And
can you say what the documentary is about, or too early?
I don't know. Like I feel like I don't know if he wants to say that, so I won't say it. But I've talked about it on
how
other
he
episodes.
looks like my dad.
Yeah, it's about
Weird. Weird. That's weird.
Wait, what's your dad's name again?
Rob.
No, it's not. Wait, hold on. I know your dad's name. Fucking Dr. Colin. What is Ed? Not Ed. That's my dad's name. God damn it. Will you give me a hint?
Yeah, it's Alan.
No, it's not. Is it?
Yeah.
It's Alan? I would have never gotten that.
Al-Anon.
I would have never.
Alan
never.
Stephen Collin.
Okay.
A-L-A-N.
So so I went right from Seth Meyers to do that, and we pull up to my hotel, and my publicist who's waiting there for me. She texted me, there's someone here who wants to meet you who's coming out of the interview before you. So like they're doing a documentary, so they're just stacking their interviews, and Neil deGrasse Tyson wanted to meet me.
Whoa.
And so he was waiting after his interview so that we would cross paths. And so I got to meet him on the sidewalk.
Oh, he knows about your love of science? So
He knows
weird.
about my appreciation for the meta
cosmos.
physics verse. About the cosmos,
The
yes.
cosmos.
Yeah,
The cosmos.
How
did he
was
do
aware
his
of me.
talking like this?
Was he so
Yes, he
flirty
was.
with you? Because he's kind
No,
of a
because
ladies'
my
man.
boyfriend was with me. Chris was with me, and I had
okay.
Chris film me. I'm like, film me walking up to meet him. And so Chris was filming, and I immediately was like, is it okay if my boyfriend films? So he was flirty with both of us, kind of like, and he was saying like how great I looked. He was like, this pink outfit, like,
You're
I
like
saw
a
you-
star.
And I was, yes, exactly.
No, not.
But he was really nice, and like scientists it's so funny when someone is so smart and so you think much more like obviously more intelligent than me, but has an admiration for what I do. You know, like
Yeah.
athletes even like look at what I do. You know, musicians look at what we do and are like, God, I wish. And I'm like, but you are John Mayer. Like,
Yeah.
what? Why do you appreciate comedy? We're just
I don't
like up
think
there
he
just
does it-
saying things.
Like, I don't think he does Star Talk anymore, but he had a podcast where he brought on comedians and they talked about science and all that. Like, he loves comedians.
Oh, well, he had me shoot a video where I asked him a question. He like forgot to do it. Then he ran back in the lobby and was like, "Can you do this really quick?" And so I held the phone and was like, "Neil, tell me like what a question about the about space or whatever that I wanted to know." And I just said, "Is love real?"
That's what you asked him?
Yeah. Like, what is love
What did
in
he
the
say?
science?
It's infinite?
Well, I guess he's going to answer it separately. You know
Oh,
what I
okay.
mean? But like, what is love to a whatever, a
That is
Yeah.
such a
rocket
good question.
scientist? You know, like what is it? Why do we? I mean, obviously we have it because we're human beings that need to be taken care of by other human beings. So when you love someone, you want to take care of it. So it necessitates that. But
Also,
what is it physically?
looking at the
Or
I mean, the way he looks at the
scientifically?
universe, he understands how small we are, and I'm sure that's got to affect your
Oh my God,
your feeling of
yeah.
how insignificant you are, and then how insignificant love will be. Like
Man.
the idea of
Dana Carvey had a great bit about Bill Gates being on Jeffrey Epstein's plane and island and how like what a nerd he was to like what would he talk to a 20-year-old about or like well let's be honest a probably 14-year-old about.
Yeah.
Like how would he like flirt like
Probably
hey ladies like whenever you see like these really intelligent like older men who have like you know these moguls of business and tech or whatever and then they're like talking to strippers, I'm always just like what's going on in that convo? I would love to hear. And Dana was so funny talking about that and like how Bill Clinton like what he would say to these girls, like what do these like brilliant men who are just
They don't say anything.
boner creeps.
I don't think
ultimately.
I don't think it gets in depth. I think it's more like their horny brain turns on, and like you said, when a guy gets horny, they get stupid.
Yeah,
So I'm sure they're just like, I
want
like
to
your
hear
hair.
it so I can make fun of them because like they're so powerful. That's what I love about when powerful men get horny. They just get stupid, and you just go, oh, that's why. Like
They probably don't try to. I would assume that they probably don't try to impress the girl by showing their intelligence. It's more like showing your wealth and showing your power. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they get into like, hey, you want to see my new fucking Microsoft fucking Photoshop?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you want to see how good Excel is now? And
I
the
can
girl's like,
Photoshop
oh my
you
God.
right now. I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I could so put an
Like
18-year-old
Elon
body
Musk
on you.
is such a dork.
He's such a... Did you see those photos of him?
Biggest loser.
He's such a fucking dweeb.
I know. It makes me like angry that I love dweebs. Like, be yourself, love what you love, but he's kuh. He's trying so hard to be kuh. He's not even embracing his dweebdom. He's trying to be accepted by Kanye and Kim and even, you know, that Anna Wintour. Like, him just trying to hobnob with celebrities is so gross to me. It's like, go solve climate change. Stop trying to go to the Met Gala, you fucking loser. Like, you have too big of a brain and you're too capable of doing amazing things to waste your time at the Met Gala.
Yeah.
It makes me so
Well, they
mad.
all want to be the cool guy. That's all it is.
It's all it is.
That's what
I
Jeff
have a question.
Bezos. Did you see him when he first started Amazon? He was like this
Oh, my
balding little
God.
guy, and now he's Dr. Evil with a 12-pack, and he wants
all
women
wanna
to
be-
fuck him, and they want to be
what everything
stars and celebrity. They want to be celebrity athletes, kind of shit.
Yeah.
because they've always been smart.
They want to be friends with athletes and
because they were picked
and
on in high
comedians.
school. They were probably, oh, look at the nerd with the
But aren't
calculator.
they smart enough to know that those pursuits are so stupid? Like, that's what I want from them. That's the problem. Is
Maybe
like I
you get
expect more from them.
Maybe like dumb and smart, they end up intersecting at some point. Like they're so smart that they don't even have to think about how smart they are. So they want to be cool like a dumb guy.
You always
'Cause
want what you can't have. Like
Yeah.
comedians want to be musicians. Musicians want to be. You want to
Jeff
be what you
Bezos wants
can't
to be the
have.
high school
I
quarterback
want to
that
be Joni
fucks.
Mitchell after a maneurism. Noah, what were you about to say about?
Well, I was going to ask, like, with the Elon Musk thing, he's so much smarter than, like, a typical person or, you know, like, what if his strive to connect with celebrities or whatever, what if it's, like, an idea that we don't even...
Right.
Like, that we can't even have a thought about because our brains are not as
it
big.
just seems so
I don't know. I think so, I know.
basic.
To me too.
I think it's like it's what nerd. It's like the nerd getting invited to like the high school party. You know what it's like is Can't Hardly Wait when that guy, the nerd, gets to go to the party and he's best friends with Mike Dexter, who's kind of ostracized because Amanda broke up with him. Or
Yes.
he broke up with Amanda. And then that nerd is like finally he's so smart and such a cool like kid. But like not a cool kid, but like just an interesting person that has like interests and hobbies and he's smart and suddenly he gets sucked into being popular at this party and he drinks a beer and he's like, I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my
Yes,
legs.
that's
And everyone's
Jeff
like,
Bezos.
yeah, you're
Yes.
a nerd that's partying with us. This is your one night, we'll let you in. That's what it feels like. It's
Yes.
like you're letting us all down. Like, yes, you're a nerd. Fine, go to things and have fun. Obama does it perfectly, I feel like, because Obama is a nerd, but he's cool. Obviously, he's the coolest guy ever, but he never fell too hard into like partying with Kanye and partying with Bono. Like he's friends with them. He does a podcast with Bruce Springsteen, but he still knows what he is, which is a politician and a person that's supposed to bring people together and, you know, is about something more than that.
But do you
Like,
get
I just-
away with things because you have that cool factor?
Go to the
You know what I
concerts,
mean?
like go to the cool things, have your fun, but don't seek it out and be so desperate. And I don't think I ever got desperation from Obama, even though he does, you know, rub elbows with the glitterati. I just don't see a desperation in it. I think he
because
still
he's
thinks
that
he's
cool
separate
though.
from
But
it.
you could get away with things
God.
being so fucking
There's
cool.
this one video of him.
You know what I mean though? Like
Obama's
Elon
so
can't get
fucking
away with
hot.
it because he looks like a computer. You know what I mean? Like if Obama looks like a cool fucking football. Like you know what I mean? Like he looks you can
like,
get away with
if
so
Elon
much
was
shit.
attractive. Like
Yeah.
if Elon had better style and
Elon
was a swab.
probably he could be attractive.
The funny thing with Elon
he's not a terrible
is
looking
he's
person.
had 9 kids with like 15 women somehow.
Yeah.
It's math. Neil deGrasse taught me it. So if you're poor and you have like 10 kids with 12 different women, you're seen by society as such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he's spun it in a way where he's saving the planet.
like Nick Cannon.
He's like, look,
Oh,
if I
man.
come in you, we could live on Mars. Like,
Yeah. I would definitely be trying to get knocked up by Elon Musk if
Pick
I
out
was.
a Tesla then.
I mean, think about it. You and your kid are going to be. He's the number one guy to be friends with if you want to survive whatever the fuck is going to befall us. Like him and Bezos are the ones to know.
Why do I see it though? It's him, Bezos, and 15 hot women, and the rest of society can burn.
I know. I mean,
you know what I mean? I can see them on
because
Mars.
that's what we pursue. Is those are the guys that are smart and are able to get all the money. And then what do they want the money for? So they can fuck hot women.
Well, they
or hot men.
flew to space. That's not for fucking us. That's for them to show that I got to space.
Yes.
They're not doing it because one day we'll have space exploration. They're doing it because they could explore more pussy.
It's really, and there was a Reddit question the other day about like, why do poor people have the most kids? Like, wouldn't you, if you were poor, like have less kids? And it's about, someone said that it's because then you have more people to raise money for your family, more people that can work.
Well, then there's government subsidies that you get for kids.
And lack of education in those communities.
Yeah, you can't afford an abortion.
Also happiness. For some families, it brings happiness.
If you if you keep having kids, you're also distracted by the poverty you're living in. Because if you're having a baby, there's like, oh, there's something to look forward to. Like that's what people do is like they always want. You want more. You want the next thing. It's like I feel so bad for women who all they want to do is be moms, and then their kids like grow up, and then they're like waiting on those grandkids, and they're not in control of it anymore. They can't. And some women aren't in control of even having their,
They'll push it though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you want? Hey, come on, you get coming, yeah. You know how your mom's.
But they don't know, and I'm kind of like that too. Like I don't know what else I want after. No, not at all. They have my mom. I think one time was like, "Are you gonna freeze your eggs?"
Didn't have 3 kids, they'd pressure you more.
No.
Sometimes I think about that. If my brothers didn't have kids, would I?
Do you ever get it from your
pressure?
parents?
You don't get pressure either.
No, they don't. I don't even think they want me to.
Yeah.
No, my mom will bring up something like, I have another ring, or I have, stuff like that.
Nuva?
I think she, yeah. Cock.
Yeah, I'm so glad my parents never have done that. My mom mentioned once about me freezing my eggs, and it was so interesting to talk. We have a friend that is going through like fertility stuff and is getting all the information about it. She found out that at the age of 38, on average, if you're a woman at the age of 38 with like a healthy, like on average, your chance of getting pregnant on the day you're most fertile, if you get all the cum in you and like everything is working, what do you think the percentage is of that? 38-year-old woman on the most fertile day of her month, of her cycle, that she has her eggs have dropped and they are ready to be spermed. What do you think is the chance that she'll get pregnant?
2%.
3%.
Pretty good, aren't I?
So what am I ever not getting cummed in for? If that's a chance, that 3% chance on the one day I'm most fertile, why would I even worry about on a day when I know I'm not even close to ovulating because I track it on my app? Why are we pulling out? And I say we as not me and my partner, but like as women, as a society. Yeah, like I like the feeling of getting pregnant is a lot harder than anyone makes it out to be because we see so many people getting accidentally pregnant, and that's when you're in your like 20s, but like in your 30s, it's so hard. I feel like I should get a reward for being older, and now I get to get cummed in.
Yeah, that should be a trophy.
But men don't know this, so they're terrified, and they should be. Like even if there's a 3% chance, I'm talking about. I track my cycle, and I know when I'm ovulating because I'm just hotter and I'm getting more. And I know what my discharge is like on my ovulation. I'm pretty positive when I'm ovulating. So why do I need to use protection on any other day or like the pull-out method?
I don't know. I would maybe you print out these stats and put them on your forehead when you're having sex. You know what I mean? Maybe a guy has
Taylor Swift poster.
Yeah, make a pie chart.
That's a good point.
Pie chart.
Under my Taylor Swift posters, there's also a proclamation from
just the percentages.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, have him write it up for you.
I bet. Yeah, and I'm not even just saying it because me and my partner do not want kids and would not like that to happen and do not want to have to ever do anything where we'd have to go to a different state, obviously because I live in Missouri, but we don't, that's not the thing I don't want to get pregnant, but with a 3% chance on the day that I'm most, if I'm on a day when I'm not,
It's probably
then
less
there's
than 1%.
there's no
Yeah.
freaking chance. And maybe someone could write me and tell me different, but I think there is something less satisfying about sexual intercourse when you do not have the full thing.
Oh.
Like there's a reason it feels good to have it all end up in you.
In ya, yeah.
And when it's not in you, it feels a little bit like you are not getting to eat the last third of the food that you like. Like you're probably full from 2/3 of it because
Yeah.
we already have too big of servings in America. So it's probably good to like
You're not
leave a
getting
few
the
bites.
dessert.
But man, I would like to, yes. Sometimes you want to, it just feels like there's something missing. And I don't think men understand that because probably men, you feel it too. It would be a little bit more gratifying for
To
you as
just
well if
keep
it was
yeah.
in.
Yeah, I think there's something probably.
It's like not
There's
reading
something
the
biological probably where it's
prologue.
like if you stay in me, that means you love me so much that even if we have a kid, you'll still be with. Like I don't know, maybe there's something like
Yes.
subconsciously.
Well, there's
that
breeding fetishes. Have you heard of that?
breeding.
Yeah, it's people that have a breeding fetish. It's like they just want to get pregnant. Like they want to talk about getting pregnant. They don't even. A lot of people that have breeding fetishes don't really actually want kids, but they love their
idea of
kink
it.
is to talk about getting pregnant and getting a bunch of semen in you and like getting.
What
pregnant. It's
about
called,
the porn
breeding fetish.
category where it's like, like secretly coming in her, where they like take the condom off and come in the girl?
Oh, I mean
It's
that's
like a
fucked
whole-
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well,
people
that's
are
almost
watching
like
that.
NC. It's called non-consensual consent, NCC.
Yes.
So
yes.
consensual non-consent,
Oh.
CNC, which is
Music
Chris's
Factory.
actual initials, Christopher Nolan Convey. But
Nicole.
CNC is consensual non-consent, which is kind of that same thing too. I've been watching a lot of like, and I think I talked about it before, but like doctors, like gynecological exams where the girl's like, why do you need to put your mouth on it? And he's like, oh, this is just a new thing what we're doing. Like, I like that like sneaky pervert. I type in perv doctor sometimes because I want to see women being stupidly taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Do I want that to happen to me? No. Do I want it to happen to any woman? No. Do I like imagining
You hear that,
a world?
Max?
Yeah.
Call back.
Max.
48 episodes. I'm like Neil deGrasse Tyson with connecting to.
Yeah, I do feel so small in the world.
Yeah, it's weird. I
When
know.
you
I'm sorry. I
do a
know I look like
callback
a
to-
son right now too. Wait. So yeah. So
Like
why is that
creep,
though?
Or
Why
like
are you
now
so?
I've gotten into so when you watch porn they start going like, well, we've noticed a lot of your videos include this. Maybe you'll check out this thing. This new thing that I like is age gap. And I know you're probably into that, but like it's old men with like girls they don't deserve. And
Yeah.
like the girl being kind of disgusted by it. Why would I like that? I remember a friend of mine being super into that and thinking it was so weird. A girlfriend of mine. And now I totally get it. And now I'm into like watching old men because I like that the old men are like, yes, like this is the greatest thing ever. It's almost like when an old man gets like the car keys thrown to him to like a car that he doesn't know is his.
Yeah.
Where they're just like about to start crying and they start thinking about their war buddies and all the mistakes they've made in life. And yeah, there's just something about old men being like, this is and this girl just being like, ugh, God. Like,
Yeah,
that
there's
makes
something
me
about like when
horny.
you get laid as a guy for the first time, you're like, pussy, and then
But
you have
I
to wait
don't
50 years
watch-
later to be like, pussy. You know what I
yes,
mean?
to be
Like-
excited about it again. Well, I don't like it the opposite. I don't like it when it's an older woman being like, I'm going to have sex with a younger guy. I don't like that age gap. For me, it has to be like, even though I'm not a young woman, I can't even put myself in her shoes. It's almost like why would I like that then?
I've been seeing stepmom catch stepson jerking off, and then she like enters the room and
Right,
she's like,
and she's like-
oh, I didn't.
And then does she tell him like, oh, let me show you how to do it? Is
Yeah,
that part of it?
yeah.
Yeah. It's also weird. I want to know about more weird kinks that people have because they're so fascinating. And I have no problem. Anyone could say they have a kink about literally anything to me. And I would, as long as it was like not something that they actually want to act on, if we're getting into like non-consent stuff, I have no problem with it. I think I could probably handle anything anyone was into. But there was some Reddit question the other day about like, what's the weirdest kink you know about? And I think it comes down to like a lot of poop stuff. Which brings us back to the poop flavor of yogurt from the Nathan For You episode that we'll never get to because we're getting to the news.
And that microphone.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Oh, it's Wednesday, folks. You know what that means? It is Wednesday. Hope you're having all the swells out there. I know it's humpback day, but hey, I hope you're getting humped on your back out there. Back to you, Noah.
All right.
NikkiGlaser.com/tour and AndrewCollinComedy.com for all your touring needs.
All our touring needs. FBoy Island and Good for Clean Filth now on HBO Max.
Hell
and
yeah.
New episodes of FBoy Island tomorrow, coming out tonight at
I'm
midnight
excited.
probably.
Is Peter an F-boy? Find out.
I think we only have 2 episodes left. Is that
What?
right? I think there's 2.
Only 8 episodes
I
in the whole
don't
season?
know that there can't be. Maybe there's 2 and then next week there's another 2. I think we did 10. We did 10. I love that I can't remember. So we have 2
No
more weeks
idea.
of F-Boy, I'm pretty sure. All right. Noah.
Right, this is a story submitted by CNC. During a months-long
Wait,
human
Chris
trafficking.
Convey?
Chris?
Yeah.
He submitted a story to our podcast?
Yes. Through you.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on. You'll remember this because I think you're gonna love it. Sort
Okay.
of. During a months-long investigation of human trafficking, undercover cops went to massage parlors, took their pants off, and allowed themselves to be fondled 8 different times.
Okay.
The undercover cops said, police arrested 13 people after 2 officers went undercover and got completely naked.
Where was this?
Probably
In
Florida.
Flagstaff, Arizona.
Okay.
And the cop said, I didn't know where to stop it. I was like, well, do you want me to take them off his pants? So she was like, well, your comfort if you want them off or you don't want oil on them. There was kind of some confusion on that. So I ended up taking them off because that's what I felt like the suggestion was from her. He went on to explain that he tried to minimize the amount of time the massage parlor employee was fondling his exposed genitals. As soon as I got aroused, I immediately started asking about the money and how much. And like I said, I've never done one of these, so I was fairly nervous and I didn't know where to stop it. So I was trying to stop it quickly.
So as soon as it got indecent, he wanted to stop it and arrest her.
He loved it.
Yes. However, police
Is this
reports
the porn
reveal
you typed in?
I know. I'm
the
like, Jesus.
officer
It's hot.
allowed different women to touch him 7 more times over the next 48 hours.
He was just investigating.
Yeah.
He was just doing a thorough investigation. He was picking up where the Uvalde cops left off, and he was saying, "I'm actually gonna be." I mean, this is insane. And is he being charged with anything because he did too?
Oh, did he get in trouble? Yeah. Did he
got
do
his
his
flag
job too
staffed?
hard?
I didn't. It's not in the article.
It's so sad when these women get arrested at these places, like they're doing anything wrong. They're always trafficked, and then even the people that are trafficking them are probably trafficked. I mean, it's just like such a. It's so sad when hookers get arrested,
Yeah, it should
like
be
they're doing something illegal, and the Johns, even them, like I don't know. We have to discourage it because it does lead to traffic being,
if it
sex
was legal,
slavery.
it would be fine. You know,
Right.
Like eventually, like it would.
Yeah, I have no
If it
problem
was
with
taxed
sex
and
workers.
worked, yeah, I
who
don't
wanna
either.
have
Yeah, but
sex
human
for
trafficking is
money.
against people's will. Like they're pretty much
Yes,
sold.
that's
Yes,
what I have a
that's
problem
bad.
with. But if it were legal, we wouldn't have to have trafficking
Yeah,
as
of
much.
course.
But we live in too Christian of a nation to ever legalize sex work. I think except in why is it in Vegas? It's okay. Is it?
Yeah. it is.
Prostitution's legal in
Yeah,
Vegas.
well,
How did they
outside
pass it
Vegas,
there?
I think in the counties around.
But how did
Vegas.
it pass there? How is it the one place
I mean, it works in
Like
Europe.
drinking on
in
the
Europe,
street in
it's-
New Orleans?
It's legal
What
in
about
Europe.
California?
and in Vegas?
Not in California? Or like it's
know. I
not.
don't
It's not
think
like a
so.
crime.
All I know is I'd love to see this guy's report. He's like, so after the 5th time, I just didn't know.
How in the world is this guy coming that much too? I mean,
Well, he didn't go 8 times in one day.
he did in 48 hours.
Oh, this is all.
Yeah, it was like 7 times in 48 hours. He
7
went back
more
7 more
and-
times.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he wanted
he-
to get more women.
He kept forgetting his
charged.
sunglasses. Yeah, maybe, but like also, that's a young.
I feel
virile
bad
cop.
for the 7th woman. Her hand must be exhausted.
I mean, we were talking about this weekend actually about these. Like my friend actually got assaulted in China when she went and got a massage there.
Yeah.
and the woman like stuck a finger up her puss, and she like couldn't believe it was happening and totally froze. This is someone who's very like outspoken and like plays by her own rules and like of course. And I have another friend who got her asshole fingered. during a massage. Well, she was in Santa Monica at like a nice massage parlor. Also, another girl who like has gotten into bar fights before because a girl looked at her boyfriend the wrong way. Like this girl is scrappy as fuck, and yet when you are penetrated, digitally in the middle of a massage, you freeze. And they even after the fact wasn't able to even go confront anyone or call. Like, it's such a problem. But I think that so many men. I was talking to my friends this weekend about massage parlors, and I was like, all y'all's boyfriends have probably been to it or considered it, or like people have been to it, because it's so much more ubiquitous than
any guy that's ever gone to a bachelor party has partaken in something that you don't want to know about.
But the massage parlors, what a great thing to be able to cheat on your girlfriend and get a hand job from another woman without really feeling like you did anything wrong, because there's never an exchange of like, give me a hand job, I want a hand job. There, she touches it, and there, all your consent is that you didn't move. Yeah. And you kind of like didn't go, no, stop. And so you feel good about yourself because you didn't ask for it. This woman just did it to you. You just didn't stop it. So it's almost like lying by omission, where men can cheat and not feel this overwhelming guilt that they've cheated on you because they didn't ask for it. They didn't take their penis and like put it in the woman's face. They didn't do anything. There's just like they are rubbing their leg and then their hand touches it. And then the woman knows, oh, he didn't move it once I stroked it, so I'll stroke it a little bit more. Oh, he still didn't move. And so the guy can then come and feel like he did nothing the whole time.
Yeah. And meanwhile, he
guilty.
found this place online and it's down in an alley, but he doesn't know how he got there.
Oh, it was totally by mistake. It was recommended by a friend. It was
this is
Yelp
Massage
said
Envy.
it was totally fine.
It was underneath a Massage Envy down the street a little bit.
Envy, standing for never something. Thought we were gonna get there.
Okay.
Massage.
Another thing from this weekend that made me interested in this article was a throwback to like drinks and food that we used to eat as kids. Klondike.
Taco.
Yes. No more Choco
Klondike.
Taco.
I've heard this in the news so much. No more Taco. Did
As
you ever
our
like
childhoods-
those?
Never into him.
So in the article, they showed other stuff from our childhood. So I think I can't remember if it was Hala or Taylor. She brought up Orbitz drinks. Do you remember? Like they had those like little bubbles in them.
Oh yeah, they were like, okay, so they were shaped like Miller Lights or like almost like Michelob Ultras, like the bottle.
Oh my God.
And then they had little floating
Plastic?
little
tapioca
blue
balls.
and purple like balls of like gelatin. But they were suspended in the middle of the drink, so all over it. So it looked like a polka dotted drink. And they were so cool. I don't think they tasted good.
Thinking about those sugar drinks where you rip off the top plastic. Squeeze-Its.
Yes. Squeeze-Its were so freaking delicious.
Well, I would chew the plastic after too. It was a
that
double win
That
for
got
me.
you hooked on plastic.
Oh man, I
love
into
those
that.
plastic things too.
Did you like those giant jawbreakers?
No,
That would
because my
make your
tongue would bleed.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That would be too much for me. And you couldn't eat it as fast as I wanted to. Like
You
those
feel
take
sick
patience.
after too.
I was like, what am I, a fucking Buddhist monk with this thing? Like, get me to the center.
Do you remember Dunkaroos? Those aren't around
Oh
anymore.
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
That
Are they
I saw
gone?
someone stealing those one time. That was the first time I ever witnessed someone shoplifting at a Target, and I saw a kid who was probably just food insecure, was probably like hungry and like snuck him, and I was just like, I couldn't believe I witnessed someone like stealing Dunkaroos.
It was Taylor?
No.
And it was
No, that
last
was this
week?
past weekend.
Yeah.
Dunkaroos are still around, I believe. I saw them recently.
No,
I love
they're gone.
So really?
Oh, really?
What about the nostalgic, like those cheese sticks that used to come in like little bread sticks that you would dunk into the cheese and you would
best.
peel back and it
With
would
the
go.
red stick? The red stick.
No, I don't like those because you would paint the cracker. But I
Yeah.
like the ones that were almost bread sticks that were like cylindrical,
Okay.
and then you dip them in.
Kind of how Nutella is now. Kind of something like
Man,
that.
there's a subreddit called Nostalgia, and if you are a child from the 80s that was born in the 80s, go to subreddit Nostalgia and just scroll. You will get whipped in the fucking face with so many things you have not thought of or seen
Fun Dip?
since. You're a child of the 90s too.
Are you Fun Dip?
I promise you we'll have a blast. My sister and I just sometimes we'll go on the subreddit Nostalgia and we'll just send each other things because it's so. Fun Dip is still around, I believe. Man, I can taste it right now. It's making my mouth water. And it
Would
kind
you
of.
eat the chalk? Would you eat the
I
stick?
didn't like when you would get you would lick the stick and then
Yeah.
you put it in and it would get that powder would get almost too like cottony. It would kind of like.
Would you eat the stick though?
Oh yeah, I love the stick.
Interesting.
The stick was the best
I
part.
never ate this. I tried the stick.
Oh,
I'm not-
sometimes the powder would be too much. It would just be like chalky chalk in your mouth. I didn't like that.
we ate so many things that weren't food growing up. Like,
we had
there's
no
so
idea how
many.
disgusting. Gushers.
Well, gushers are the Squeeze-Its of food, I feel like.
Squeeze-Its were so delicious, and I loved the animation from the cartoons on like the Squeeze-It face would be like, whoa.
Yeah, squeeze
you
the
had,
fun
like,
out of it was their tagline.
Squeeze the fun out of it.
What a line.
My
I
mouth
love the
is
ice.
watering.
The ice pops. I could eat. I ate
Oh yeah, those are
85
still
of
around.
them.
But the
85.
Choco Taco. Okay, so if you were going
yeah.
to a ice cream truck.
Okay.
Okay.
What would you get?
Yeah, what would you get? I posted on my Instagram recently because they had the whole menu up on nostalgia it was like, what would you choose? And
A lot of times I just go simple, the ice cream sandwich. I think it's simple and you know what you're getting and it lasts a while,
I always
especially if you
wanted
lick
the
the sides
Choco
of it.
Taco, but I always felt like it was too much of a not kid thing. It felt like it was like for adults
I was
only.
never a Choco Taco. I've never had one. I'm sad now.
Oh man, I think this is, and Chris brought this up on his radio show today, and I was listening. It might be a ploy to like get it back, to like get people to fight for it, and so when they bring it back, there will be this like burst of sales. So like sometimes
Yeah.
they talk about things going away, so that
Like the
people,
Mexican pizza at Taco Bell came back.
Yes, and apparently that's gone again. Like it's it's discontinued everywhere. But if I loved, what about Flintstones push pops?
I fucked with those.
Oh god,
They were
and I love when you
yogurty.
like hit them on the counter so you can like make them go up.
Oh.
And when they, I know, I was,
Holy
like,
shit!
jerking
No,
off.
I did love the stick.
Oh, the orange flavor
So
was
many things
so
had sticks
delicious
back then.
So many sticks.
Sticks aren't really in our life anymore.
Even Capri Suns. I would stab it like I was like
Would you
know,
stab the
a
bottom
bushman
or the
in
little hole?
African Sahara? Oh, the bottom.
Some people did the bottom.
Who stabbed the bottom?
Florida,
I've never even
baby.
heard of that.
Florida things get weird. I mean, you
and
just have
I
a
never
bigger.
understood why those were so difficult for some children to operate. I felt like I was like
You know what was
really
tough?
advanced
The
because
milk
I could do those.
carton sometimes if you bit your nails, very tough to
getting
get in
that
there.
out, yeah.
That last little piece of paper you couldn't get off the milk carton.
Man, I'm nostalgic right now.
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk, yeah.
Yoo-hoo or chocolate milk?
Never did Yoo-Hoo. My parents never let me
Yoo-hoo
have
had a
it.
weird taste.
Cereals. I mean, if we're going nostalgia.
I mean, I could do this all day. This is my favorite
Lucky
thing.
Charms. Just like Lucky Charms. I know those are still around and Tricks.
Cookie Crisp.
I never got
That's
Cookie
such a
Crisp.
kid thing.
Yeah, but I always wanted it. But it was just too indulgent. I
It's
think
too indulgent. That's
it
what
was
the
like-
Choco Taco is.
Yeah. Oh, really?
That's what I'm thinking. I think Choco Taco is it's too rich. Too like, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like a specific, like the ice cream sandwich, a strawberry shortcake.
Chris told me when I showed him the ice cream truck thing that he would have picked the baseball mitt. Do you remember those baseball mitts that had a gumball baseball in the middle?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of.
I am
get a gum.
desperate to find those to buy for him. So if anyone has a hookup for those, because I think they're only sold in like mass quantities, if someone could buy one and then send it to me, I would love you so much because I think that would be a really good gift.
I'm sure
to give.
Noah's dad owns an ice cream truck.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, Noah,
Not far off.
That's a strong ham drink.
Oh my, yeah, that is a strong
For
one.
48 episodes.
All right, we got to go to break. We'll come back with Andrew's short story circle segment right after this. All right, we're back, and it's Wednesday, so it's our wild card Wednesday. We do different segments this day. Today's segment is
Andrew's Succinct Short Story Circle segment.
I want to punch that guy. I don't know what it is.
perfect.
Like,
Is he too chipper?
by the way, flooding, everyone thinks we're dying.
Oh my God! Thank you to every bestie
Yeah.
who wrote and was like,
We're-
"Are you
we're-
guys okay?"
We're in a high rise.
Yeah, we're okay, but like it has been flooding like crazy.
Yeah,
here.
apparently.
I
But-
mean, we got 12 inches of rain 2 days ago, and the record for
I
St.
know.
Louis is 6, or it was like
We got 7 inches, which
It
was
was 8 inches is the
25%
record.
of all summer in one day or something like that.
yeah, and it's insane that my parents' cabin isn't flooded. They were like, it just didn't rain south of the Merrimack, so we didn't get it. And I'm like, you're gonna get it. Like, just say goodbye to that cabin now because it's coming. I mean, 12. The record was 8 inches, and we got 12. That's insane.
I picture, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? That scene when it floods and they
I've
all...
never seen it.
Oh, I feel like you love that movie.
James River Blues. What's that song that's on the Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack
Oh.
that everyone loved?
I'm a Constant Sorrow.
I'm a man of constant sorrow.
Originally
Yeah.
by Bob Dylan, I think.
He
did
wrote
a version
everything.
of it.
I mean, he wrote My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the
I
Yard. He did
know.
the original of that. I mean,
weird.
Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Okay, what story are you going to tell today?
This is a current, well, not current, but very recent. I usually do like an old school one.
Yeah.
Is it funny, like, news stories, because you compare them to, like, Fighting Lil Jon, you don't... Sometimes I overlook stories. I don't ever tell them to people,
You're
even
getting
though
ahead
they're
of the
great
story.
stories.
New.
They're
Right.
news
Asking
stories.
Nikki to
I get
compare
what
a
you're
story you
saying.
didn't tell yet.
So this is,
Yeah.
I was on the golf course with my buddy Jordan, who you've met.
Yeah.
He's like 6'5". He's from New Orleans.
Does
He's
this involve lightning? I'm worried about Jordan on the golf course because he's so tall.
Oh.
And he looks like lightning.
Doesn't involve lightning. But if you know Jordan, he's from Lafayette, Louisiana. He was raised by an
You
alligator.
know Jordan and you don't.
And you don't.
Yeah, okay, so.
But if you know him, he was raised by an alligator and a crawfish. This boy is a walking pecan pie. He's fucking manly. He's a manly guy. He works with his hand. He works at, I can't say where he works, but he's like.
Hey, I'm coming up with new search terms for Pornhub.
Yeah.
God, are we back on that?
Crawfish.
Yeah. All right.
So he's like a tough man. He's 6'4", he's a big guy, hits a golf ball 350 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You don't fuck with him.
Okay.
You just don't fuck with this guy. I wouldn't fuck with him.
Right. You'd fuck with Garrett, but not Jordan.
I honestly would rather fuck with
Garrett than Jordan? Really? Okay, Jesus.
Because I've seen Jordan throw a putter into the woods, and that putter never
Oh.
resurfaced. Like, the guy gets angry. He has
Wow.
anger issues. If he misses a chip, watch out, because you might have a 9-iron in your fucking back. Like,
Okay.
I've seen him mad.
All right.
And it's like a weird
Don't
mad.
tell him the Choco Taco's been discontinued. I don't want to know what's on the other side of that.
I have heard it's because of him. Threatening letters that he wrote with those man hands that are built like pecan pie. So I play golf with him all the time. I've seen him angry. Very nice guy. Love the guy.
Yeah,
Just-
I'm shocked to hear he's an anger head, but it makes sense.
it reminds me of like Anger Management, the movie when Adam Sandler just can't control it, at times,
Oh, yeah, I've never seen it, but yes.
So here he is. He's complaining a lot about just like life. Like I feel like he wants to take out anger on something, like, whatever it is. He takes it out on the golf ball, but I really feel like he wants to kill somebody at times in a fun way.
Yeah.
So, mind you, we're playing golf, and there's a rule in golf where you don't hit into the people in front of you. Like, so let's say there's...
Well, yeah. I feel like I don't know anything about golf, but I think that would be kind of
like the first rule.
not even a rule. You just know, like, you don't hit into people.
Okay.
That's why you scream 4 if you accidentally do that, right?
Yes, that
Okay.
is what happens. But the thing is, though, is it gets so backed up on the golf course. If you're a twosome and there's a foursome in front of you and there's maybe no one in front of them, they're slowing you down. A lot of the times it's like, hey, man, come and play through us.
Yeah, but why don't
We
you
don't
guys
wanna
just
hold you
ask
up.
instead of waiting for people to ask you?
I've done that before.
Okay.
That's like
Yeah.
my new thing.
This thing of like, no, but a lot of times we just become so much of a nuisance behind them that we expect them to let us to go through. It's like, well, ask. Okay, so go on. I have a feeling I know where this is going. So he's trying to send a signal to these people to let us play through. So he shoots it into them.
No. So they're playing a scramble, which they play best ball. So whatever, they hit the ball to the left. We're talking, we're just bullshitting. Next thing you know, we don't see them. This foursome, it's 4 20-year-olds that are all drinking
gone.
Fireball and they're fucking chugging beers.
And they're cuh.
They're so good. They're like, a fucking fraternity.
They're
like,
you 20
yeah,
years ago.
like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Like completely different time.
20 hours ago.
Yes. What? So they're fucking getting fucked up, whatever. They drive. We don't see them. So I'm like, okay, so it's time for us to drive.
So you really lost track of that. You didn't know where they were.
We didn't know where they
Yeah.
were. We both hit great drives, like 300
They were off
yards.
looking for the fucking
They were
putter that he threw in the woods.
So we start driving
Yeah.
up, and next thing you know, there's one of the guys in their party, the tallest, biggest guy, is standing in the fairway, looking at us like bowing up, like he's a fucking Spartan, like
Yeah.
wanting to fight.
Yeah.
Because we hit into them one time, and they were so far to the right, we didn't know they were there.
Right.
So this guy has a club in his hand, and he's ready to show his
When was
dominance.
this?
Like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Ready to show his dominance. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm not about to fight 4 20-year-olds. I look over at Jordan. This is his bar mitzvah. This is his. He has never.
so excited.
He is foaming.
He's like my dad at a January 6th.
Yeah. He's like a rabid dog,
Yeah.
just like, finally, I get to fucking take out all my
Yes,
frustrations. And before this guy can even fucking bow up and like yell at us, Jordan's like, fuck you. Why the fuck are you? I'm like, oh my God. And I'm just like, dude, I don't want this. I don't want this.
Oh my God, I would love to see the footage of this.
Oh my God.
Of you just like, dude,
So the guy.
what are you doing? Are you trying to stop
So I'm
him?
just like, dude, it's fine. Like, it's all
How far
good.
away is this guy? Don't give me your, like,
It kind of reminds me of, remember Naked Gun when the guy gets run over by the slow thing? Yeah, that's what it's like. Like
Austin Powers.
Oh, Austin Powers. Well, that
I think
too.
in Naked Gun it happened too, yeah.
So we're still too far away for Jordan though. Like that's how bad he wanted to like. So the guy is probably waiting for us to get closer for him to show his dominance and tell us not to hit into him. So we're running. Jordan goes, "Fuck you! We didn't mean to fucking
Jordan's
hit
so
into you."
big though that he
but
knows
he's in a
that
golf
anyone-
cart. The guy doesn't realize that he's that big.
Oh.
But
And he's drunk too.
The closer we're getting, the guy realizes like he's fucking with the one guy, the wrong guy, and the other guy, the nice Jewish guy, is just trying to make peace. So I'm just like, so before like the guy realizes like the closer we get, like a shark, that like he's fucking with the wrong guy.
Oh shit, yeah. These people are very small, far away.
Yeah, it's like a Monet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But instead
It's
of
like a
like
school for ants, like that. Like he thought you were as little as you were.
but
in
like the
distance.
closer it gets, it's just giant hornets.
Yes.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
get there and we're like, and Jordan's going, I'm like, the guy's already like, oh, okay. Like backing down kind of.
I mean,
but
like,
wow.
it's not a big deal. Yeah.
But Jordan's like already, he's in the middle of it.
And are you able to talk any sense into him, or is he in
no,
like a
he's a
red-
rabid dog.
Yeah,
he's like a pit bull that has his teeth in.
Cujo. Yeah.
He's Cujoing. And I'm just like, listen, Cujo, just relax. And he's not listening to me.
There's
which
no.
makes me,
Are you like trying to touch him, like trying to like get like?
yeah, I'm just like, yeah. And I'm like looking at him and he's
Oh
like
my
more.
God. Are you wanting to just like drop and roll off of this cart so you don't even have to
I
deal
was
with
going to
it?
light myself on fire just to.
You
just
wanted to pull a nephew and just put yourself in the front of the cart. Get
So
a mannerism.
this kid another kid starts walking up. Another one. So now they look like brothers to me, which whatever, foreshadowing. So he starts coming up. He's like, what the fuck, man? You're being, what did he say? He said a word that just isn't a good word for a fight. Like, you're not being you're being unreasonable. Like, which is a funny thing to say.
Yeah, it's a big.
So Jordan looks at him and he goes, fuck you, you backwards hat. Your dad's probably a fucking lawyer coming for money. Meanwhile, Jordan, his parents aren't poor. Like, it's just funny for another. Like,
Jordan. Yeah.
like I'm like, dude, you're like,
But it is
we're
good to
splitting.
like just call someone like a little like you're only able to play on this golf course because your daddy bought it for you.
And meanwhile,
you
it's a
pussy bitch.
public course. It's like $10 to play. So then there's another 2 guys too. So it's 4 guys, and Jordan just keeps going. And now it's getting really heated. And one has a golf club in his hand. I'm the whole time trying to like.
Are there any women around?
No.
Okay.
No. There'd be probably. I don't know. It would have been amazing for you to see this. So then. They get in each other's faces. They're about to fight. And finally, it calms down. They drive off angry. I'm like, dude, what the fuck were you doing, dude?
Yeah.
I was like halfway in. I get why. It was fucked up. He's like, you shouldn't be bowing up. I'm like, what are we? Fucking goats? Like, what are we? Like hitting head? Like rams? Like.
It's all this is always has something to do with so much else.
Oh,
it's
so much.
never about.
Oh,
that's
it's-
why you can't cut people off. You don't know
I
what
know.
you're cutting off.
So then, sorry, 1 minute left. I'll just wrap it up. So we fucking keep playing. We're playing behind them. I see them drinking more fucking beers, like pounding beers. And we get to the final hole for them. We were going to keep playing a little bit more. But it's the final hole, and they're just sitting there with 2 more guys. And there's no
they
reason
call their
for them
buddies to come up.
There's no reason for them. So now
be
there's
hanging
6
out.
of
They're
them.
waiting for
they're
you guys?
waiting, and they're staring at us. And at this point, I'm finally angry.
And now they probably have guns or something.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like they've.
I mean, they
So
don't
they
seem
drove
like gun
ahead.
kind, but they were.
Did they keep playing?
Yeah, they kept playing. They shouldn't be waiting. And I'm like, oh, they're waiting. They're gonna want to fight us with another. So finally, they go, oh, look at the tough guys. Look at I was like, I didn't fucking do shit. Now you're being tough because you have 2 more friends. Oh, and
Did
they're
you
like,
say
oh,
that to him?
yeah, I did.
Yes.
Finally, I had enough. I was like,
Yeah, you're like, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to kind
Jordan
of fight.
like rubbed off on you.
Yeah,
a little
Jordan's
bit.
like
He
holding
convinced
me
you.
back. He's
Yeah.
like, dude, relax, Andrew.
Yeah.
So then
Jordan's talking about his life, and you're like, I'm pissed about this life too. Yeah. So
So now I'm out of the cart, and I'm like, you know I was they're like, you were being reasonable. So then they're
Now it's back
talking
to
to me.
reasonability.
But Jordan's bowing up again. He's ready to fight again.
Bowing up. I've never heard that until this episode.
Like when you bow your chest
I get
out.
it now. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's fucking Chakotakuing.
Yeah.
Know? So, but the guy is trying to go to me. He goes, look, you were nice, and I'm
Short.
It's fine. You're shorter. Yeah, you're a smaller man. Your
You're wearing a
friend's
yellow
on-"
shirt.
And then he
I
would
know
turn to
that.
Jordan and go,
You have a
fuck you,
feminine side?
motherfucker. Fuck you. And they're going,
he
fuck
would-
you. And then he'd turn to me and go, he'd shake my hand and he'd be like, but you're all right. I'm like, no, you can't decipher the two. You can't fuck him and then not want to
Yeah,
fuck
like I'm
me.
with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with him. I'm going to fight now too.
God, this sounds exactly almost identical to your fight with the guy from Sum 41.
Oh, Sum 41.
Yeah,
I'm
like where
just
you're trying to keep the peace and like
Dude,
trying
I've
to be
had
friends
like
with
3
him
fights. I had that other fight in
Interesting,
Europe where I'm
yeah.
trying to keep the peace until
until you get pushed over the edge and now you're implicated and now you're unreasonable. Final thought.
final thought. The guy goes, they start yelling at each other, and again, Jordan's like, backwards hat, bitch. Your dad's a lawyer. Like bringing up like holes. It turns into like a roast kind of. I'm like, oh, I'd actually be really good.
Yeah,
at
were you
this.
like starting to
I started
look at his
writing for
shoes and-
Jordan.
yeah.
I was in his ear. Like, and so then the guy just goes to Jordan, though. He looks at him. He goes, you know, but he says it like in a weird way, not like screaming. He goes, you know, you just seem like you're retarded. And Jordan's like, what? I'm not. Then
Oh,
it was
boy.
just like such a weird like dig where it wasn't like in your face.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, I know something about you
Like,
that you don't
you're
even know about
slower
yourself.
than- yeah.
you're like slower than
Oh, boy.
So that
And if Jordan at all dealt with any kind of learning disability, this is going to be a huge trigger. Who hasn't dealt with any feeling like you're a little stupid?
so then they're both being held back.
Oh my God.
And this time they're like, it's
Neil
gonna
deGrasse
fight.
Tyson is the answer to that.
The
Who
guy-
hasn't? He probably hasn't.
Yeah, probably never. This kid has a mustache and a mullet. He kind of like probably listen to Theo Vaughn, like that kind of
Yes.
vibe, you know? And he wants to fight Jordan. And he's so drunk, he's looking past him. And I'm like, this kid will die.
I forgot about that part. Yeah.
This kid will die.
Jordan or
no,
this
no,
kid?
the other
Oh,
kid.
God.
I know
And
Jordan.
Jordan will go to jail.
Yes, and I would go to jail too.
It's like me with Taylor. I'm like, you're going to get caught. Just don't do this. It's not worth it.
At one point, the fight is so funny on a golf course because kid has a golf club, and Jordan goes, "That's a weapon of like you can murder someone." He's like, "Yeah, I know." Like it was like kind of like very slow, like the whole thing.
So how does this end? I
So
can't even
finally
believe
they
this.
drive off. Finally they drive off, and they're still talking shit like fucking tough guys. But you're cool. You were cool, but fuck you.
Is there a part of you that's kind of like, yes, I'm cool?
No, part of me wanted me to. At first, yes, and then I wanted them to hate me just as much because they were so
because
fucking.
they were such losers. Yes.
So we're driving off, and we're playing. We keep playing a couple more holes, and like 3 holes later, and Jordan just looks at me like quietly, and he just goes, "Do I like come off retarded?"
Oh, baby Georgior.
And I was just like, I was like a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I was like, I don't want to fight him. No,
Yeah.
but it was just such like a moment of like,
just
it
makes
was
you
very
realize-
bonding though for us.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Because, well, he was vulnerable in that moment to be like, hey, man, will you be honest with me?
Like,
right?
why does my face kind of.
And it's so sweet that, like,
Yeah.
all of this really comes from that place of being like, I feel less than. Because no one really needs to fight unless you feel you're threatened. And, like, all that anger comes from, you know, like we were saying before, why do girls date F-boys? Low self-esteem. And I'm not trying to, Jordan would probably hate if I said
Why do
this.
guys fight us boys?
Yeah, low self-esteem. Like
Yeah.
you don't need to do that unless you're trying to prove something about yourself because you think other people think less of you.
Yeah.
Or you think less of you, and it's going to give you something that makes you feel better. But I'm so glad it didn't end in violence. How
Dude,
was it? How did it not?
Because
No one would take the first punch.
it's like
Is it about
it's
playing
like a
chicken?
baseball fight. Have you ever seen like when they clear the bench? No one ever throws a punch. Everyone just like fuck you, fuck you. Everyone's being held back. The
Yes.
tough held back guy.
Yes.
I think because they were also holding
Isn't
golf
it about
clubs.
chicken though? Like, isn't someone? I feel this way sometimes when I'm in relationships of like, who's going to be the first to be like, this is over, and then it's like,
Yeah.
so you're both waiting for someone to say that to be like, oh, is that what you want? Cool, and then you're not the one that's doing it or saying it. Do you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
is that the way it is in physical fights?
For
where
sure.
it's like I'm waiting for this guy to punch me. Then I'll have reason to punch him. But I don't want to throw the first punch because it means that it will begin.
And also, you could go to jail if you throw the first punch. But yes, I do think there's something involved. And I also think at the core of it, no one really wanted to fight. But the manliness in you, the ego in you feels like you have
to. For lack of a better word, gay. Because you touch each other.
Yeah.
You get to like kind of hug each other. It's the only time men touch, whether or not you're either gay or you're fighting. Otherwise, there's like just you hug and you like slap each other when you hug. There's no like
so funny
intimacy.
to fight a man and like in the middle of you, like I kind of feel good in your arms.
Yeah, like it feels nice to be touched. My cousin JD, who's now passed, but he used to always say that his bus driver, when he was a kid, used to be like, "If y'all don't stop horsing around back there, I'm gonna come back and touch you hard." Which is mean like hit you.
Yeah.
But touch you hard, which is like a nice way, but touch you hard. It always made me
I'd go
laugh.
on that bus 8 times.
But it is funny that boys can't touch each other unless it's aggressive. Otherwise, it's,
yeah.
you know?
There was no ending it other than, yeah, you never realize
When
that
really-
someone's going to really throw a punch.
All
Like,
you
never,
guys need is more touches. Boys, and this is what I learned from FBoy Island, like, Peter thinks we actually had a therapy session because we did a joke therapy session. That's how starved men are for talking about their feelings.
There was a UFC fighter that just won, this guy Paddy the Batty, and he's like blowing up. He's from Ireland, blonde hair, blue eyes guy, has like a weird hair. He kind of looks like that hair that I had on when I met Bobby Boucher
Corky
or whatever.
from like Waiting for Guffman. Yes.
Yeah. So I call him. So Bobby Flay, I call
Yeah,
him Bobby Boucher.
Boucher.
That's the football player from Adam Sandler.
Yes.
So,
Bobby Boucher.
so anyways, this guy won, and his friend killed himself the day before. And his whole speech, I'll show it to you, was all about how men should talk to your friends because I'd rather you be crying on my shoulder than being dead. You know, like it was like this really hard, and it's like blown up.
Oh,
kind of
that's
reminds
so
me of the
nice.
Logic song and how the Logic song, because rap talking about those kind of feelings, you don't expect it.
Yes.
So a UFC fighter just won.
It's the only way to get through. It's like
Yeah.
it's on you as a man who is able to access his emotion and talk about them. Like it's up to you to like you come across as a manly man. Like it's up to you to put that message out there.
Yes.
So that other men feel like it's acceptable. Because if they look up to you at all, they'll just that's all. We just got to have more people like that being emotional and. Because man,
it's like a Tesla being
boys
fast.
you just need to
You know what
hug
I mean?
Jordan next time you see him a little bit longer and like be sincere about it. Try it.
Yeah, no,
Hold his hand on the golf cart.
I'll push him in.
All right, guys, we got to go. Thank you so much for listening to the show today. Thanks, Andrew, for that long short story segment, but it was great. Look at Luigi. He already knows we're finishing up and you're going to go for a walk. Do you know that? All right, guys, do not be and Jack Russell Terrier.
Missiles.